Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing a tutorial walkthrough. I'm going to do sort of like a color study for the YouTube hop for a cherry on top. For the month of July, the theme is adventure, and I figure we're just going to go on an adventure. I am usually someone that likes to think outside the box when using supplies that a cherry on top has to offer. There's tons of inspiration today, so I'm sure you'll see cards and scrapbooking and other projects. For me, we're going to do something in our mixed media journal. So this is the Ledger one from Dina Wakley. I have left the packaging on it. These sold out kind of fast, but I know that they're trying to get them back in stock. And I've made a couple of layouts in here. So what I've done already off camera is I've gessoed the page. So that's what kind of white as there. I've taped off a couple of columns with just some basic washi tape so that we can have good like color marks as far as columns. And we're going to do like a color study. As I understand what a color study is, because I've seen a couple of videos like this, and I just thought, you know what, that's actually a good kind of little entry into mixed media. Also, we're going to do just like another print over, like a picture over here. So you'll pick two colors. They necessarily don't have to be in the same color family, and always black and white as your staple. And so the idea is to mix a little bit of this color with white, then a little bit more white, and you'll get different tones of color, and the same with the pink, and then you'll do the same with the black, and then you'll do the same mixing them together. So the two colors I've selected are Blackberry from Dina Wakley, and then also Raspberry from Dina Wakley. And then these are just craft paints of inexpensive ones that I picked up at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, because surprisingly I don't have black and white in Dina Wakley heavy body paints. So we have crafty kind of black and white, and then the heavy body ones. And so the whole idea on this side is to make all the color examples of, you know, like I said, the purple with a little bit of white, purple with a little bit more white, purple, and go down with all those variations. And then on this side, I'm going to just kind of be mark making in essence, but like kind of wiping off the paintbrush before I start mixing another color, just so that this gets done simultaneously. I have not done this before. We're going to do this together. But it should be fun. And actually, I think I'm just going to talk our way through it, because I'm not sure if a voiceover will be suffice enough. So we just mix the purple. So we'll start with the purple, and it's just to have like the dots on the top. So I'll have a pink and then the black and the white. So as I understand, you get, you know, make it a little puddle and you're adding more. Now there are ladies out there that do this, and what was I going to say? And keep track of like how much pink or how much white they're adding to their color palette. I am not that hung up on measuring. I never am. So it's more just kind of getting these variations naturally. And like you said, so, ooh, see, and I'm already making a mess. And as you can see, I haven't cleaned off the brush. So these are just the variations that you would naturally get so far with mixing that dark purple to start off with, and then adding continuously more white, more white, more white. Which is, like I said, an interesting kind of thing. And so far, this purple is gorgeous when you lighten it up. Oh, you know what? And I haven't been going over here. So half of the journey is also to, I don't know, make, you know what, instead to abstract images and shapes so that you never feel too precious on how you are working through this process. And see, and I kind of feel like I have to start again. So that's a little bit more purple than before. And yeah. And so maybe I should already start adding some of the pink and seeing what we get. So like if we add a little bit of the pink, what kind of variety can we get? That's really pretty. Okay. Okay, and more pink. So this is like the mix of the two, right? So. Okay. Yeah, so you can see the variation, the purple into the pink, so it's a mix of the two. Let's see if I mix a little bit more purple into that. Just the color tones, and that's the whole beauty of this like kind of project, is seeing the variations you can get just from having 4 colors, you know, and that's the key. And then over here, it's just to play. And I'm just trying to actually clean off my brush before I wet it to get off all this yummy paint so that I can do pink and the white and then do the same. I'm actually probably gonna run out of space to do black, but we'll see if I can combine them all. So let's see. So it was better to start at this point to do some voiceover because I got very quiet when I started doing this after that point. Yeah, so overall, I love this process. I've seen there's one creator that literally does a color study like once a week on her channel, with just different color variations. You know, she'll just grab blue and yellow and see what she gets, and then she'll grab like red and blue and kind of do this with the black and the white. And I find them so fascinating. And then always on the right hand side, she does an abstract picture to kind of showcase the color variations that she blends together. And it was, you know, I learned some things too, you know what I mean? Like that's the whole, I guess, concept when we sit and play with our supplies, because I have never done something like this and I thought it was just very cool. Now for this one, you'll see I just did a bunch of circles at first, but I do break out some of my stencils in a bit once I'm kind of done with all of the color variations to get, you know, a more interesting abstract piece on the other side. So the stencils you'll see me kind of grab and use too. So right now I just was getting like the variations with the black and purple, and then the black and the red. These I probably could have done more in the colorway because they came out more black and more, you know, when I added the pink one, it looked a little bit more of a variation rather than just being like almost like a close to a black. But nonetheless, for my first time out of the gate, going on this little adventure with you, playing with 2 color paints in my stash and black and white, this was actually a really fun exercise. So I definitely encourage you to kind of take an idea like this and run with it, because I literally want to continue. And that purple got me some really pretty tones, and maybe on the next side just do it with maybe purple and yellow, like contrasting colors. And this was just me trying to mopping up the paint because I didn't want to waste any of the paint that was on my brush. So here we are already flipping the page over. And how do we call it? I should have grabbed my other journal, but I was trying to do this like in my head. I was like, oh, I'm real time with this video, but I didn't stay real time the whole time. So it was use it up, like a use it up paint journal. I usually use a Dilution, the little mini one, for extra paint. But the next page is kind of ready to go with some black and purple paint. And that's okay. So like I said, just take 2 colors, any 2 colors. Now granted, I doubt you want to probably get like red and green together because that will naturally just make brown tones. But it could be fun to have red, green, and brown on a page for something, you know what I mean? This is also good when I've seen creators do it with like one of those, they call it like color cards, almost like a mood board kind of thing with colors that look good, like an inspiration mood board color palette. I probably could do that as well. But for an exercise in color and playing with your supplies, this was fantastic. So here I am ripping up the washi tape that was being the dividers, just so I can have crisp column lines on my page. I didn't worry about anything ripping right there, which was actually a good thing because I was worried that I might have to like heat gun it so that it didn't rip up the paper. And here was me just kind of finishing up the paint that I use on the side. So then I take the time though, because I was like, okay, where do I go from here? Let me clean my brushes, let me get some stencils, let me do some things. So I go into my stash for some of the stencils I haven't used in a while, mostly Dilutions, yeah. So once I go in my stash, I find one that's kind of like this one that I use first, this is called Brush Strokes. It's from Dilutions. And then the number one I've had in my stash for a while, it's called Old School Numbers. So with this brush stroke one, I go in with the pink and the purple paint. I start off with a sponge dauber, and it didn't go really well because it was already a used one, so didn't have its like pounciness. So I end up just going through my drawers and finding a makeup sponge instead. So with the makeup sponge, it works out way better. So I always have a stash of these two now, because makeup sponges are definitely like my go-to, especially when using a paint through a stencil. It just works better. So just get some. I think these are from Walgreens. Okay, so Walgreens, Walmart, makeup sponges are the way to go. So I do it with the raspberry color first, and I was trying to leave it like, you know, in certain areas. And then I was like, should I use the whole stencil? If I do, let me get the dark purple. So then I do a little puddle of the blackberry and go in with the purple as well. And when I lift this off, it does look very busy, and I was okay with that. But I was like, the black dots that I made with the black tone variations were too stand out-ish still. So then I go in with the number stencil after this. You'll see it shortly. And I use the number stencil. Sorry, my dogs. I use the number stencil with black paint in order to have more contrast. And that definitely helps out the situation. So the black just helps out with that contrast to be dispersed a little bit more. And then you just saw, like, I was checking on the paint in the backside, and it ripped the paper a little bit. It was still too wet. Silly me, silly me. So then this was me like, okay, what can I do next? Let me go grab some texture paste, like stencil butter stuff. And I was like, yes. And then we're going to use this frilly one that is from Dina Wakley. And this one is called Giant Flourish. So I'm going in with Astro Paste first. This one's in Goldfish. This is a Simon Hurley one. And then I have the stencil butter in Orchid for a big bright one. And then this is where I leave it, where I'm happy. I do go in with a little bit of mark making with the gold paint pen. But it's very subtle. I didn't do too much. And then this is where I left it. It turned out really, I like it. You know, like I said, for the first time out of the gate doing this, I highly encourage you to pick two colors in your stash, black and white, and have a go. And see what you come up with. And that way it gets you out of your comfort zone and playing with your art supplies. That's the whole goal. Okay, that will finish this off. I let it dry a little bit on the side before, talking to you on my outro. And I did cover that up. So I'm just going to have this sit there to block it from getting stuck. But look how good the stencil butter looks. I went ahead and did some of those gold dots with the gold paint pen. That's all that I did off camera. And then look how that Astro Paste dries. Oh my God, I need more of those. They do come in other colors, like a pink and a purple, green, and blue. That is yummy. That is filled with glitter. So yeah, for my first go, love it. I love how this turned out. This is very cool. I really do see why the people do it as a series, because maybe I want to do like, blue and green here next or something. Well, not on this page since I already have something there, but you know what I mean? Like it's a nice just size, and this variations and colors is like my favorite side. Oh, and look, I'm getting it all scratched up. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me. Please subscribe to my channel if you're new. Everyone is listed down below for the YouTube hop on the design team. It's all in the description box. And when you leave a comment, you're able to win a $25 gift card to a cherry on top. And it's always so fun. And I always have so many comments and people that are new to my channel or that come back month to month, making a comment and then entering into the giveaway, which is always fun. So good, you guys. I might make another one already. So thank you for spending some time with me. Until next time, everyone. Bye.